Manipulation in relationships is a powerful tool that some people wield to maintain control over others. Whether you're perceptive, street smart, or overly cautious, manipulators have a knack for slipping through the cracks in your defenses, disguising their intentions under a veil of charm and false sincerity. These signs can help you identify when someone might be manipulating you emotionally. Recognizing these behaviors can give you the clarity and confidence needed to respond effectively and protect yourself. Number 10. Big talk, little action. Manipulators often promise a lot but fail to deliver. They may create a fantasy of a bright future or pledge support in times of crisis, but will disappear when you actually need them. Research from relationship experts shows that empty promises are a tool to keep victims hopeful and attached to a non-existent future. This tactic leverages the human tendency towards optimism bias, the belief that things will eventually improve. The manipulator uses this against you, stringing you along with promises of change, support, or commitment, none of which are ever meant to come to fruition. Number 9. Playing the martyr. Whenever they do something for you, manipulators make sure you know what a massive sacrifice it was. They act like Joan of Arc, positioning themselves as irreplaceable and highlighting how no one else would do such a thing for you, thus making you feel indebted to them. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, martyr-like behavior is often used to induce guilt and obligation. By emphasizing their sacrifices, manipulators make you feel like you owe them something in return, reinforcing a cycle where their needs come first and your gratitude is constantly demanded, regardless of the actual value of their actions. Number 8. Guilt tripping by playing the victim. Manipulators often portray themselves as victims of past circumstances. They recount tales of how everyone else mistreated them to elicit sympathy from you, hoping you'll feel guilty enough to compensate for their supposed suffering. Research shows that people have an innate desire to be helpful, particularly when someone appears vulnerable. Manipulators leverage this instinct to position themselves as perpetual victims. When you feel sorry for them, you're less likely to hold them accountable for their actions, which allows them to continue manipulating you without challenge, keeping the power imbalance firmly in their favor. Number 7. Criticism after love bombing. Once the initial affection fades, manipulators shift into the "you're not good enough" phase. They'll criticize you, chip away at your confidence, and make you feel that you're lucky just to be in their presence. According to mental health professionals, this is a common tactic in abusive relationships called devaluation, aimed at undermining your self-esteem. By making you feel inferior, manipulators ensure that you cling to them for approval, reinforcing their control. The contrast between the love-bombing phase and the criticism phase leaves you confused, striving to regain the affection you once received. Number 6. Making vague or exaggerated statements. Manipulators use exaggeration to escalate minor issues into major conflicts, which they then use to question your loyalty or intentions. Something trivial can become Mount St. Helens erupting. Suddenly you're accused of being careless or the root cause of the relationship's problems. Research in communication psychology indicates that vague or exaggerated accusations create a power dynamic where the manipulator controls the narrative. By keeping you on the defensive, you're left focusing on proving yourself rather than recognizing their manipulative behavior. It's a deflection technique designed to avoid accountability and maintain control over you. Number 5. Issuing threats to leave. They may often threaten to leave you if you don't do exactly what they want. This threat is meant to instill fear in you, to keep you constantly on edge and eager to comply with their demands to avoid abandonment. Studies on attachment theory show that the fear of abandonment is a powerful motivator, especially for individuals with anxious attachment styles. Manipulators exploit this fear to keep you in a state of anxiety, where your actions are dictated not by what you want, but by what you believe will keep the relationship intact. This tactic is aimed at creating dependence and eroding your sense of security. Number 4. Twisting facts and lying. Reality isn't a priority for manipulators. They may lie, twist facts, or omit crucial information to suit their narrative. They create their own version of events that fit their manipulative goals, leaving you doubting your own memory and experiences. A study from the University of Michigan found that consistent exposure to misinformation can alter a person's recollection of events, a phenomenon called memory conformity. Manipulators use this to make you question your sanity, leading to greater control over your actions and thoughts, because if you can't trust your own memory, you're more likely to rely on their version of reality. Number 3. Dismissing your concerns. When you bring up how their behavior hurts you, manipulators will downplay your feelings. You might hear, "I was just joking," or "you're too sensitive," which are strategies designed to invalidate your emotions. According to research on emotional abuse, invalidation is used to undermine the target's emotional experience, making them doubt the legitimacy of their feelings. This tactic not only silences your concerns, but also makes you question whether you're overreacting. Over time, this erodes your self-esteem and makes you less likely to speak up, reinforcing the manipulator's control. Number 2. Pressuring you to make decisions. They often pressure you into making important decisions when you're in a vulnerable state. Whether it's during an emotional moment or a significant life event, they'll try to make you commit to something when you're least prepared to think clearly. Research shows that stress impairs decision-making, leading people to default to the safest or most available option, often what the manipulator wants. This is why manipulators will often press for decisions when you're already emotionally overwhelmed, ensuring that you agree to something that benefits them without fully considering your own needs or best interests. Number 1. Projecting their behavior onto you. Manipulators will accuse you of doing the very things they are guilty of. If they are untrustworthy, they will call you dishonest. If they're trying to control you, they'll accuse you of being controlling. This is known as projection, a psychological defense mechanism where individuals deny their own flaws by attributing them to others. Research from the American Psychological Association suggests that projection is a common tactic used by people with narcissistic tendencies to deflect accountability. By putting you on the defensive, manipulators successfully obscure their own behavior, keeping you so preoccupied with defending yourself that you fail to see what they're really doing. This tactic also works to confuse you and distort your reality, leaving you questioning your own actions while the manipulator keeps their real agenda hidden. And there you have it, signs that someone might be more into controlling you than loving you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay wise, stay strong, and stay manipulation free. See you in the next one.